Yeah.
Next to Brandon. Okay, can you put this on your side? Take one and pass it. Alright, so as I mentioned, we're going to use a really specific structure for us to discuss our ideas about our contract. George is recording because this is one of my goals this year, and I have to post this video to Mr. Harwood for him to evaluate me. It has nothing to do with you, everything to do with me. It's going to get posted on this website that Mr. Harwood looks at all the work I've done and evaluates. It's not public. Okay, so don't freak out about the camera. It's for me, not for you. But what I do want you to know is that we're going to be practicing this discussion technique to get better at listening to each other and communicating in our groups. Okay? So Junior's already doing a really smart thing, which is deciding who's A and B. So he's right, the side that Junior's on. Raise your hand if you're on the side Junior's on. You're going to be the A person. You're going to talk first. And you'll talk during number 1 and number 3. You see on this paper how there's numbers on things? Okay. Raise your hand if you're on my side. Okay. You're going to be talking during number 2 and number 4 in this process. Does that make sense? Okay. So one of the things I want you to know is that it's really human nature to when you're listening to somebody, we're always automatically comparing what they're saying to what we think and what we know, right? So that's called evaluating their ideas. And that's human nature. But unfortunately, that thing that we do automatically doesn't make us very good listeners. Because if you're listening, but you're really thinking about how you feel about their idea, you're not necessarily really listening to them. So what this process does is it's going to force you to listen and tell them back what you heard without adding any of your information into it. You're not going to evaluate what they're saying. You're not going to add in your own ideas. You're going to tell them back what you heard them say. And that's called revoicing. Then, person A is then going to say, yeah, that's what I meant. You got it. Or they're going to say, no, what I really meant was this. Or they'll say something like, that's partially correct, however, I wanted to add this. Does that make sense? So we're going to go through steps 1, 2, and 3 before you even give any information about your ideas, if you're on this side. You're just listening, you're telling them what you heard, and they're telling you like, yeah, you got it, or no, that's not what I said. Does that make sense? Yeah. When we get to step 4, that's where people on this side finally get to add in their ideas. They can say, oh, well, we agreed about this. I thought that too. Or we disagreed about this. I was thinking this other idea. Does that make sense? Okay, so the way this is going to sound is person 1. Raise your hand if you're person 1. A. Sure. So for step 1, person A is going to share their ideas. You're going to talk about all those ideas you just brainstormed and listed on your paper. Maybe your idea is, my idea is that in meeting space everyone should have a pencil. I don't know what you said, but that might be what you said. Miranda, question? Okay. And then person 2, let me back up. While person A is saying all that, which is going to be for 30 seconds, I'm going to time it. You're just listening. You're not going to say a word. When I say, okay, step 2, you talk, then it'll flip to these people are talking, and they're going to revoice what they think that you said. So they might say, I thought I heard you say, or is this what you mean? Or maybe you're confused. So maybe you say, would you clarify what you mean by goofing around or whatever? Okay. That's going to be about 10 seconds. And then I'm going to put it back to step 3, which will be back to person A, where they're going to respond to the revoice. That's again 10 seconds, because you're basically just saying, yeah, you got what I said, or no, or what I really meant was this. And then we'll come back to this side where it'll be person 4, and they're going to compare and contrast their ideas. Does there any questions about this process? Okay. I want to reiterate one more time. It's going to feel a little forced, but we're going to practice it this way until we get good at doing it naturally. And it really is not something that we automatically do, to listen to somebody without inputting our own ideas first. And that's what we're trying to force ourselves to do right now, okay? Okay, so for the next 30 seconds, people on that side are going to share their ideas, while people on this side listen. You can begin now.
Okay.
Tell them what you heard them say. Go ahead now. Okay, please stop. Okay. 10 seconds again. This side is going to say, yes, that's what I said. Or, no, let me clarify this. Right. Do you see the 7 steps to help you? We're on number 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeffrey, somebody? Avi, are you ready? Okay, 10 seconds. Person, step 3.
All right.
Okay, please stop. Now we're back to this side. And this is going to be the very first time you're going to put your information, your concepts, your ideas into the conversation. So if you're person B, right now, you're going to compare and contrast something you heard with something you had brainstormed earlier. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, you have 20-ish seconds. Go. Alright, please close out. Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask a few people to switch seats. So, for you're in the 3, you're only 2. Alex, who are you in a group with? Yeah. Okay, so Zakir and Alex, will you please switch seats? And Zareen and Amy, who are you with? Zach and Zareen. Okay, so Zach and Zareen, will you switch seats? And are you for a group? So will you two switch seats? Okay. Yeah, Amy, you switch. Okay, so we're going to do this exercise one more time to practice. But this time when we do it, the people who are on this side are going to be person A. So you'll do steps 1 and 3. And the people on that side will be person B. So you're going to do steps 2 and 4. Make sense? So we're just flipping roles. And we're going to practice again. So this time, if you're on this side, you're going to start out by sharing what you listed during that independent brainstorm. Confusion about this? Thumbs up if you get it. Do it. Now, you're going to share again. We'll just go through the motion. Okay? Okay. So, Okay, please stop. I'm noticing a few people are automatically trying to move to the next step, which will be fine soon, but for today we're trying to really structure it and do it in a structured way so that we're going to learn how to do it right, okay? So, and that first part, only the sides were doing talking, and they were sharing their ideas, okay? So now, Jose, Luis, Serene, Alex, Avi, Junior, on that side, you guys are now going to revoice. You're going to tell this person what you heard them say. You ready? Please Okay, now we're back to this side, and they're going to get 10 seconds to tell you either yes or no or sort of, but here's how I'd like to clarify. Go.
I said everything you just said.
Go.
That's partially.
Okay. And now back to the other side. This side. You guys are at step 4 where you finally get to compare what you heard to your ideas. Please go. If you are on the side away from me, can you hand that paper to the people on this side? And will you all please hand that paper down here to Leo? Thanks so much for participating. Can I hear 2 people share out about what was hard about that? Oh, Zakir and then Zach.
Hearing while everyone's talking.
Okay, so this format where we're all right next to each other, it might be hard to hear while everyone's talking. Zach?
Remembering what they told you.
Remembering what they told you. Yes. I just want to reiterate one more time. It is totally human nature for you to be, when you hear somebody, you're evaluating and thinking about how you feel about their ideas and how they compare to you. And to get better at listening, you need to kind of resist that natural urge and force yourself to just hear what they're saying and say it back to them first. So that's that skill that we're working on. It's listening. And it's a skill that even my most beloved adults that I know in my life also need to work on.
Who?
My husband. Okay, so right now, you're going to transition back to your tables. You've already heard a lot about what people thought about should be in your contract, so you should be ready to start agreeing on some things and getting the contract written. Within 10 minutes, your group should be signing